Benny Malone played for the Miami Dolphins from 1974 to 1977 plus the first 6 games of 1978 before he was traded to the Washington Redskins. For his Miami career, Malone carried the ball 503 times, totaling 2,129 yards and 16 rushing touchdowns. He played for the Washington Redskins for the 1978 and 1979 seasons. Bill Bartholomé was the leader of a consortium who bought the Boston Braves, a National League Baseball franchise, from Boston to Milwaukee. Despite the Braves' success in Milwaukee, where the team had set league attendance records during the 1950s, Bartholomé was intent on moving the team to Atlanta. After an extended legal battle with Milwaukee, the National League agreed to the shift of the Braves to Atlanta. Bob Stephenson was a shortstop who played 67 games for the 1955 St. Louis Cardinals. Stephenson also attended the University of Oklahoma. Stephenson struggled offensively during his professional career. The .243 batting average he recorded as a backup to Alex Grammas for the 1955 Cardinals was the highest batting mark of his 5-year pro career in the minors and majors. Conway Hayman was drafted in the 6th round in the 1971 NFL Draft by the Washington Redskins and subsequently was traded to the Houston Oilers. Hayman played for 6 seasons with the Oilers, appearing in a total of 77 regular season games. Curly Neal played with the Harlem Globetrotters. Following in the footsteps of Marcus Haynes, Neal became the Trotters' featured ball handler, a key role in the team's exhibition act. Neal played for 22 seasons, from 1963 to 1985 with the Globetrotters, appearing in more than 6,000 games in 97 countries. His shaved head earned him his nickname, a reference to the Three Stooges' Curly Howard, and made him one of the most recognizable Globetrotters. Del Schaffner played for 11 seasons with the Rams and the Giants in the NFL. Schaffner was an All-Pro 5 times. He led the NFL in receiving yards in 1958, totaling 1,097 yards.
First and 10 on the 41 of the Steelers, and Del Schaffner comes back in, replacing Joe Walsh. And he has Aaron Thomas and Del Schaffner. Walsh comes to the side. Gives it back to the right side. King Morrison on the deep back. First and 10 on the Steelers 41. Silver goes back to pass. Throws deep down to the left side to Schaffner. Way down.
Donald Pavlitic was a catcher and first baseman for the Cincinnati Reds, the Chicago White Sox and Boston Red Sox. Pavlitic spent much of his career with the Reds as a backup catcher to All-Stars Ed Bailey, Johnny Edwards and Baseball Hall of Fame legend Johnny Bench. Galen Head was a Canadian professional ice hockey player who spent the majority of his career with the Johnstown Jets of the Eastern Hockey League and North American Hockey League. Head played 1 game in the NHL with the Detroit Red Wings during the 1967–68 NHL season. Gloster Richardson was selected in the 1965 AFL Draft by the Kansas City Chiefs. He eventually made the team in 1967 and played till 1970 when the Chiefs won Super Bowl IV. Richardson was then traded to Dallas where he was used as a backup for Bob Hayes and Lance Alworth. The Cowboys won Super Bowl VI that season. He then played for the Browns for 3 years. Hank Workman was a Major League Baseball player who appeared in 2 games for the New York Yankees during the 1950 season. Workman replaced future Baseball Hall of Fame member Joe DiMaggio as the 4th batter in the lineup the day he played first base. He also played 6 years in minor league baseball. Henry Akin was selected by the New York Knicks in the 2nd round of the 1966 NBA Draft. He played for the Knicks in 1966. Akin was selected by the Seattle Supersonics in the 1967 NBA Expansion Draft and played for the Sonics in 1967. He played in the ABA for the Kentucky Colonels in 1968. Akin was forced to end his basketball career due to various injuries. Jeff Taylor was a basketball player who played for 3 years at Texas Tech University, before being drafted by the Houston Rockets in the 1982 NBA Draft. He played 1 season with the Rockets in 1982, and another with the Detroit Pistons in the 1986 NBA season. Jimmy Wynn, nicknamed the Toy Cannon, had a 15-year career with the Houston Colt, 45s and Astros and 4 other teams, including the Yankees, the Dodgers and the Brewers and Braves, primarily as a center fielder. Wynn's nickname was the Toy Cannon, because his bat had a lot of pop for his small size 5'9". Johnny Antonelli was an American professional baseball player, a former left-handed starting pitcher who played for the Boston and Milwaukee Braves, New York and San Francisco Giants, and Cleveland Indians between 1948 and 1961. He later became a 6-time National League All-Star, a 2-time 20-game winner, and the leader of the 1954 World Champion Giants pitching staff. Leslie "Big Game" Hunter played in the NBA and the ABA. Hunter played for the Baltimore Bullets, the Minnesota Muskies and Miami Floridians, the New York Nets, the Kentucky Colonels and the Memphis Tams. Hunter played in the first ABA All-Star Game in 1968 in Indianapolis, Indiana. At Loyola, Hunter was the starting center of the team that upset the University of Cincinnati in overtime to win the 1963 NCAA Men's Division I basketball championship. Manfred Moore was selected in the 1974 NFL Draft by the San Francisco 49ers. He played for the 49ers in 1974 and 1975, being named their Special Teams Player of the Year in both seasons. Moore then spent the 1976 season with the Buccaneers, and then was signed by the Oakland Raiders to replace their injured kick returner Rick Jennings. Mike Stratton was a linebacker for 12 seasons in the American Football League and the National Football League. He won 2 AFL championships with the Buffalo Bills, where he was a 6-time AFL All-Star. He was named to the AFL All-Time Second Team. He also was a San Diego Charger at the end of his career. Orlando McDaniel played a wide receiver in the NFL for 1 season with the Denver Broncos. He was drafted by the Broncos in the 2nd round of the 1982 NFL Draft. McDaniel also ran track, and finished 2nd in 1980 in the NCAA Division I Outdoor Track and Field Championships, men's 110-meter hurdles. Henri Richard was a Canadian hockey player who played center with the Montreal Canadiens in the NHL from 1955 to 1975. His brother, Canadiens legend and fellow Hockey Hall of Famer Maurice Richard, was nicknamed the Rocket. 15 years younger and 3 inches shorter, Henri went by the Pocket Rocket. Henri won 11 Stanley Cups as a player, the most in NHL history. In 2017, Richard was named one of the 100 greatest NHL players in history. Ronald Marciniak was a NFL player and coach. He was a guard for the Washington Redskins in 1955. Marciniak played college football at Kansas State University and was selected in the 7th round of the 1955 NFL Draft. He served as the head football coach at the University of Dayton from 1973 to 1976. Ruth Bourne was a player who pitched in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. Bourne batted and threw right-handed. In 1943, Bourne had a try-out for the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. She made the grade and was accepted on the South Bend Blue Sox. Terry Tausch was a guard in the National Football League for a period from 1982 through 1989. The Minnesota Vikings made Tausch a 2nd-round draft choice in 1982. He played 7 seasons for Minnesota in 68 games at right guard and 1 season for the San Francisco 49ers when they won Super Bowl 24. Walter Bryan is a former NFL football player who played for the Baltimore Colts. Bryan competed as a defensive back and had graduated from Texas Tech. Woody Widenhofer was a college assistant football coach. Widenhofer was hired to coach the linebackers for the Steelers in 1973. He was promoted to defensive coordinator in 1979. By the time he left after the 1983 season, Widenhofer had won 4 Super Bowls and made the postseason 9 times. He later served as head coach at the University of Missouri and Vanderbilt University. Bob Lee was a closer and spot starter in Major League Baseball who played from 1964 through 1968 for the Dodgers, Angels, and the Reds. He finished his rookie season with a 6-5 record and a 1.51 earned run average in 64 games, setting a personal record with 111 strikeouts. In 1965 he went 9-7 with a 1.92 ERA in 69 games, following with a 5-4 record in the 1966 season. During this period he amassed 58 saves. Goldie Sellers was a defensive back in the American Football League. Sellers played collegiately at Grambling State University under coach Eddie Robinson. As a professional, he played 4 seasons as a corner-back for the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. He also was a member of the Chiefs' Super Bowl IV winning squad. Lou Luce was a halfback in the NFL for the Washington Redskins. He earned a scholarship with Penn State in the fall of '57. Luce later became a football coaching assistant at Florida State. William "Ted" Cox was a third baseman who played Major League Baseball from 1977 through 1981 for the Boston Red Sox, the Cleveland Indians, the Seattle Mariners and the Toronto Blue Jays. Cox was selected by the Red Sox with the 17th pick in the first round of the 1973 draft, ahead of Fred Lynn. In his first 6 at-bats, Cox went 6 for 6, which is a MLB record.